You are going to want to see what we have here in week 11. So we are back to shift tracking. We are in our second week of March here in the year, week 11 again, as we said. And we are setting records again in ways that we might not want to. But today, I mean, I'm just nervous. I'm nervous as an agent. I'm nervous as a homeowner. I'm nervous as a U.S. resident, just about what this means for all of us. So obviously, we do this each week, guys. And here's what we're looking at week 11 of this week. Now, we review our categories, our total active listings, new this week, under contract this week, what closed this week, what was expired, withdrawn, or canceled this week, price reduction, average days on market, median volume, and median list price. Now, as we slide all the way over here to week 11, we can obviously, the total active listings is at by far the lowest it's been all year. Okay. So we're at 1208 total active listings, and that's a huge fall from that 1574 we had in week 2. And it's a pretty big drop from what we had last week as compared to the drops that had happened those couple of weeks before. Okay. Now, what was nice to see is that we had 248 new listings. It's about average. It's sort of right in the middle of our different weeks that we've had so far. This is great to see from a market and the speed of the market and some things happening. Second highest week in terms of properties that went under contract. So that part's nice. We had a lot of people that actually got under contract on homes this past week, right? And we can see that is second highest again. I think the highest week, was week 9. So it wasn't even that far ago where we had that happen. Okay. Now the one here closed 226. So we had a little bit of a theme where our total closed properties were really starting to ramp up actually in these last couple of weeks. We're now down. What I'm thinking is really happening is, again, just those closed based on some of those under contract numbers that we're going to see. They're kind of being reflective of that. As some of those have kind of ebbed and flow, we're seeing this a little bit low. Again, not any major category here in closed, just sort of a byproduct. These were interesting. Okay, are expired, withdrawn, or canceled, or are price reductions. These are the lowest they've been. When these two numbers are high, that represents kind of a slowing market, a market that's not really moving its inventory. It still needs a lot of help to kind of get some of that inventory. But again, expired, withdrawn, or canceled, that means these things are either selling, right? Or getting taken off the market another way, but that's really the way they get taken off. And then our price reductions are at the lowest they've been since this entire year. And so again, sellers are basically saying, well, hey, look, why would I reduce the price of my property if there's not really any game in town? We're having meetings with sellers right now that, we're challenging them to price their home probably higher than what they think they should. And it's because there's not a lot of other options. People are going to have to purchase. They're going to have to purchase something. And we're in a time where people want to buy and sell, and there's not much out there. So we're recommending to people price a little bit higher, and we probably think they're going to get it. And that's also because, look, our median list price is tied with the highest that it's been all year, and the lowest number of listings and the lowest number of total volume is on the market right now. So with all that being said, we are at a point here where there's just not enough listings. That part we've said all week, but here's what we should take away from this. If you are a seller, you are considering this is going to be a good time for you at the moment because you do have to get a good price, and there won't be a lot of other competition out there for your listing. The other part that I want to bring up is that there was new legislation put in by the Biden administration that may look to reduce the impact of 1031 exchanges. Now, if you don't know what a 1031 exchange is, it's a like-kind exchange, and basically you're able to defer your taxes down the road if you're able to swing your equity from your one property into the equity of another property that's of similar kind. The reason why they would take that out is because it's going to add more tax dollars to the federal budget. I think I saw about a $19 billion mark if they were to remove it entirely. What you want to consider is you may only have a certain number of time left to be able to sell your primary and purchase another primary and roll that equity in tax deferred. I obviously don't know when this is going to happen. Apparently, some of it was brought on a little bit by the Obama administration. The Trump legislation had put it in, but without all the teeth that it was going to have. But we don't know what that new legislation could look like. So all of a sudden, you may say, well, I might pay a slightly higher interest rate on the purchase price. Okay, but if you have to pay the taxes on your $200 to $400,000 worth of equity that you may have accumulated in your primary home, and then you take a, what would basically be a capital gains tax rate bite out of that, I don't care what your interest rate is, that's going to hurt a lot more than whatever small interest rate increase that you're going to have on the front end. So do your research, talk to your accountant. Obviously, that's just something potential down the road. But those are the type of things that looming could shake this whole thing up, could shake all of these numbers up a little bit. As I'll predict, I hope that our total active listings goes up next week, not down. I hope our new listing goes up, not down. I hope our pendings chill out a little bit. But as I've been proven almost every single week, what I want is just not really bearing itself out in the market. So I'll check back with you guys next week, week 12. And obviously, if you have any questions in the meantime, you know where to find me. So have a great day, guys.